keeping on attendance, so you're good. And those, you know the deal, day before a test, I'm not collecting it, so do as much as you can. Just working through it. Take your time, yeah, take your time. Where's this? Statistics. Come on. Okay. Fix here. That was too easy. I'll be right back and then we'll get started. All right, I'll give you another 30 seconds, then we're going to go over these, see how you did. No stats. right, let's do this. So hope you had a chance to work through this. And so I just want to point out that these problems come in two flavors. And you probably noticed this on your homework if you worked through that. If you didn't, you'll find out when you do your homework that's due today. The two different types of questions, at least with the normal questions, are the ones where you're given distances, lengths, whatever, and you're supposed to come up with a percentage. So what is the probability? There's that question. And then the other one is where you're given a probability or percentage and you're asked to come up with like either the cutoff or whatever. So the ones on the right, these two, both give you a percentage. 80th percentile is a percentage. And you're supposed to come up with the distance or the length or whatever. In this case, I guess it's foot length. And here you're given lengths and you're supposed to come up with the percentages. So let's go ahead and do this. With each one, you got to fill, it says label and shade each normal curve. So let me show you what minimum. I know you want to know what is the least you need to do well on the exam. So I'll do the least. Here's the minimum. Put the mean. Get the mean in there, 25, 25. Now, standard deviation, if you want to, you can mark that up. I guess this one is lacking the little lines, but if you want to, you can put those lines in. You don't have to. If you want to do the bare minimum, just put that there and then put whatever numbers in the problem. So here it says between 20 and 28 centimeters. So put a 20 on there somewhere, 20, and put a 28. And at least go to the trouble of trying to put them approximately where they should be. For example, 20 is a little further from 25 than 28. So like I said, I'm doing the bare minimum. I realized that 20 would be one standard deviation away from the mean, so it should be at that first line if there was a line. But if you're trying to do the very minimum, which I know some of you are, you're asking, what can I do, just the minimum to get by? That's the minimum. Shade this thing. There we go. So now I have labeled and I have shaded. So each one of these, you should have labels, you have shade. It always boggles my mind when I get an exam back from the second exam, and there are all these normal curves, completely blank. Completely blank. Why? I mean, it's the easiest thing to draw like the mean and put some numbers on there. It's not that hard. Just shade. At least you'll get half credit, even if you don't know what to do with the numbers. Okay, now that we've got that, you know that Excel is leftist, and so we will do I'll just sort of sketch this out up here, but then I'll go get the numbers. This would be, you don't have to write this down, by the way, but I'm going to write this just to remind you. So you have norm.dist of 28, 25, 5, true, whatever, minus norm.dist of 20, 25, 5, and true. I know, that's a lot. You don't have to write all that down. All you have to do is pull out your calculator, go down here, and I've got the actual calculations that I did using Excel. And just find the correct ones. 28, 28 doesn't even exist on my list. Wah, wah. Okay. Huh. What a ripoff. Okay. I know some of you knew that this was about to happen and you were just looking forward to the train wreck. Okay, well on the exam, I will make sure that it has, let me just look this up real quick. I'll put it on the list. I'll make sure I've already printed the exam. Now I'm going to have to go take that exam and double check. Just give me a sec here. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm just going to type in equals norm.dist of 28, 25, 5, true, and I got 0.72. So my apologies. If that does happen on the actual exam, it shouldn't because I'll be double checking now. So it's a good thing. Norm.dist. I'll put that on the list here. 28, 25, 5, true is 0.7257. 0.7257. You know, half of you were just, no, you knew that this was going to be a problem, and you're excited and happy to see this. It's kind of like watching fail videos, you know, like what's going to happen? Okay, so let's see. Now up here, so what you'll be doing is you'll just take, so the red stuff up there, you won't have to write all that. All you'll want to do is write this down. Even this is more than you have to write down. All you really need to write down is the answer between 20. Wait, 20 isn't even on the list. Unbelievable. Man, whoever wrote this quiz didn't do a good job. Good thing I'm not collecting it. Okay, so 20. 20 isn't on the list, right? Wait a minute. Yeah, what did I do back here? Because this is, oh, I see. Yeah, I must have figured it out last time I did this. Apparently, I always do this day before an exam, and so I don't bother correcting. I should go fix this. Maybe I'll fix it after class. Okay, but anyway, so norm.dist of 20, 25, 5 true is 0.1587. 0.1587. So I apologize. So this will be 7257 minus 0.1587, which you'll actually have to do on your calculator because I can only do so much. I'm trying my best to adapt the Excel stuff to a paper test. So sorry about that. 7257 minus 0.1587. Still, it won't take you too long. And I got I'll put it up here, 0.5670. That's my final answer. So that's what it is. There it is. Okay, hopefully we'll do better. I see that the other numbers are on the list. Wait, 80th percentile. That's not on the list. What is wrong with me? Well, I don't know, because like I said, I pulled this out of my files. So what I have to wonder is what was going on 2 years ago when I wrote this exam. I'm starting to sweat. I'm going to take this off. Okay, we're going to get it done though. So it's a good thing this wasn't a real test. Okay, next one. I'll do this one quicker. The very minimum that you should do is put 25 in the middle, put 30 over here somewhere. I don't care where it goes. Technically, it should go right on the line. But if you don't hit the line, that's fine. Like I didn't hit the line, I don't care. I'm just looking for a 25 and a 30, and I'm looking for a shading. Less than. Less than means less than. Stuff to the left is less than. Now this one is easy. That's just going to be this right here. This norm.dist right there. That's number 2. So that's going to be 0.8413. So far, so good. Hopefully, now the next one, 26. So we have 25 in the middle. Put 26 somewhere. I realize it should be right next to 25, but I can't write that small, so I'll put it there. And it says more than. So the bare minimum that I'm hoping you do on the exam is to write those two numbers down, shade the stuff to the right. Bear in mind that Excel is leftist. And so that number there, I'm going to use for number 3. That number corresponds with this, 5793. And so about 58% of everyone is going to have a foot length less than 26 centimeters. So more than will be the balance, the rest of the people. So do 100% minus that, or 1 minus 0.5793. And you got it. 4207 is the answer. 4207 is the correct answer there. So yeah, I apologize for apparently not putting anything on the list that I should have. Yeah, the 80th percentile isn't there either, sadly. Okay, any questions so far? I know, other than the fact that I blew it with that. What do you think, Nevaeh? So I did 1 minus 0.5793 because the 0.5793 represents the stuff to the left, because Excel is leftist. And so the whole thing will be 100%. So 100% or 1 minus this. If you prefer to think in percentages, you can do it that way as well. You'd have 100% minus 57.93%, which equals 42.07%. So either way, if you prefer thinking in percentages, that's fine too. So 0.4207. Anything else? Other issues with this? Okay, we're moving on. We're doing good. Okay, next column. Next column. So these are what I like to think of as the Jeopardy questions. Okay, so the first one, I've got 25 in the middle. Now this is super hard. This is the one that everyone gets wrong. So just so you know, some of you are going to get this wrong. In fact, probably all of you, well, most of you got it wrong on this quiz. It's so hard to think in terms of like the words. So let's see, I need a length that is less than 60% of all the other college students. So if you are smaller than 60% of everyone else, does that mean you're a big person or a small person? So if you're smaller than 60%, that means that you're over here with 60% of everyone is over there, 40% down there. So that's what's confusing is you have to think like, what does that mean to be less than 60%? So if you put your line to the right, you were wrong, but you're doing the thing that almost everyone does. So you're in good company. But the correct thing is to do this because that line, whatever this is, I'll put a question mark here, that will be less than 60% of everybody. 60% is to the right. So this is what I'm looking for. You want to know what's the minimum? Minimum you should do is to put a line somewhere and shade whichever direction it's going to be and put the percentage in there. Okay, so now let's see. How do we solve this? Well, because this is the opposite, we're going to use norm.inv like we did on Monday. I know we did it near the end, but it's okay. And because Excel is leftist, we have to use the 40% to the left, not the 60%. So it'll be 0.4, 25, and 5. And that will be, where is it? It's down here, this one. So 23. So that's question number 4. I used that 23.7. So 23.7. So, and you'll notice that that question mark, like some people, I remember this from, doing this, however many years I've done it, is that some people put their line here, they get their shading, it looks good, and then they go down to their little table of values and they pick this one, 26.3. Now check it out. If you've got this picture correct, you should know 26.3 is not right because 26.3 is over here, not over here. So make sure you're consistent at least. But anyway, that's the right answer for this one. It's 23.7. All right. One more. And Mason's so disgusted he's leaving because I didn't put this one on my table. But I'll put it on now. Don't worry. So this one, we're going to draw it again. We have 25 in the middle. And it says 80th percentile. 80th percentile is some number, put a question mark there, where 80% is to the left. So 80%. So the bare minimum, you don't have to put a question mark there. Bare minimum, put 25 in the middle. Always put 25 in the middle, or whatever the mean is. Put a line. Show me that you know what the 80th percentile is. 80th percentile means it's some point where 80% is to the left. Fortunately for us, Excel will be happy with our 80 percentile. So this will be norm.inv. By the way, you do not have to write all of this. You just have to write down the correct answer, provided I have the answer on my table, which I don't for this one, sadly. But this will be 0.80, 80%, and then 25 and 5. I'll type this in up here. 0.8, 25, 5, and that gave me 29.2. So that should have been on the table down here. So my apologies that I left it off of the list. Maybe I'll correct this for the next time, but for now, it is what it is. All right, any questions about normal curves? I don't know, there's only half of what you did for your homework. It might have been the hard half. So yeah, if you haven't finished this homework or if you didn't do it, hopefully you can do it now. It's pretty straightforward. By the way, when you're doing your homework, it is so important to draw the curve. Draw it. It really helps. It'll give you sort of a guideline as you think about, like, what do I use in Excel? Well, you can figure it out by drawing the curve. You say, okay, Excel is leftist. This will be stuff to the left. Here I'm looking for stuff to the right, so I do 1 minus the stuff to the left, and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go on to the binomial stuff. That's the smaller quiz. And so this should be somewhat of a review of what we did like a week or two ago, plus the stuff we did on Monday. So that's the bonus here is now we can do this with Excel. So I expect you'll all get, I wonder if I have do I have the same problem? No, okay, we'll find out. Okay, so so first of all, 12 people selected at random, so we're going to say that n is 12 here. The probability of being colorblind is 7%, so 0.07. And so I want to know which of these is the correct answer for the probability of exactly 2 colorblind people. Whenever you see exactly, we're going to use binom.dist, not binom.dist range. So cross out those two. Those two are not the right answer down there. So if it says exactly, we want to know an exact single number. So binom.dist, and now we just have to pick out the right ones. We want exactly 2. Exactly 2 is going to be binom.dist of this one right here, there, letter C. So C. So you can see this is how I get around the fact that I'm not letting you use Excel on the exam. I just, for the few things that you would use Excel for, I've just done it for you, and you just pick out of the bunch. Okay, let's do number 2. See how we do with this one. Charles, he's going to make 7 free throws. Oh, at least 7. Ooh, interesting. Out of 10. So we are doing 10 attempts, 10 free throw attempts. The probability of success looks like it's 65%, so 0.65. I know I threw in that 35% there, but that's the probability of failure. We're interested in making free throws. Okay, now we just have to figure out, I want at least 7, which means 7, 8, 9, 10, a range of values. So in this case, I don't want a single value. Those aren't going to be correct. It's going to be one of these ranges, and it's going to be the first one because there's 10 attempts, 65% chance of hitting the free throw, and I want to know the probability of being between 7 and 10 inclusive, and that's letter E. Is that the only one? Yeah, we're all done. Yay. All right, any questions about binomials? Binomials are okay? Not bad, good. Okay, so what are we doing for the rest of class? Almost nothing. That's so exciting. So what I need to do is I need to show you this. Excuse me. Hold on a sec, move this over so I can have room. Okay, so here is the our Moodle page that you all know and love, and there's some new stuff that just appeared this morning. It has nothing to do with me, but yeah, it says these are hidden. But this stuff, so when we click practice questions, test 2 practice questions, you'll find test 2 practice questions here, and you'll see some things that are similar to what we just did. Notice right here. Let's see, and some other ones, and you'll see some repeats. So someone asked me, how similar would this be to the actual exam, or no, it was the question, is this a midterm or a regular test? And I don't care what you call it, it will be similar to the last test. In fact, I'll show you, give me a sec. I'm going to pull up the actual test. I've got it right here. I sent it to the printer yesterday. I was so excited to be done with it. Give me a sec. I like to show it off. So give me a minute here. Got to find it. Open recent files. Statistics Exam 2, Fall 2024. Here it is. Okay, just a sec. I need to format this so that you can see it better. I want to fit, what does this mean? Enable scrolling, that's what I want to do. And there we go. I want to be able to see the whole thing. Okay, here we go. We can see the whole thing now. Let me pull this over, and then you can see it all. There it is. So you can see it's beautiful, isn't it? But I guess what I want to show you is, I know you can't read it, but that's okay. Even if you watch the video, I think, I can't read it even in this close. But you can see exactly what types of questions you're going to have. You're going to have something similar. Let's see. Is it similar? Hold on a sec. Practice questions. Go back to the beginning. I just want to see how similar it is to this so that we can know where to focus our efforts. Actually, that first question, it's not like any of these. Oh, well. It's okay. I think the first question is a repeat of a question from test 1. So that's why it doesn't look like it's here. So that's that. But you'll see, you can tell that this one and this one are basically the binomial probabilities. Those two, those are basically binomial probability questions. Look, you have some sort of a probability distribution there. You have to fill in a blank, it looks like. Here's one where you're computing mean, median, mode, quartiles, that sort of thing. I know, you've done that already. You know how to do it. There's a couple of multiple choice questions here. This one's about normal curves, like the quiz that I gave back to you. The one with the 4, or was it 3? I think it was 4. 4 normal curves. Same thing here. All 4 of them. I've got this printed in color for you, so you're going to love it. And then you have something with normal curves down here. So that's it. I think that I covered everything that you've covered between the last exam and this exam, plus I just threw on 1 or 2. So for AJ and anyone else who wants to know, it is sort of like a midterm in that there are a couple of problems from question 1 or test 1. So what sorts of issues do you have? Do you have any questions, fears, worries about this? I know you're thinking the way that I think when I'm in a faculty meeting. If no one asks a question, then we get done earlier, right? All right, so let me give you some instructions then. If no one has any questions, that's fine with me, because then I can just go play Clash Royale or something for the next half hour. First of all, a few instructions. So you know the deal. Friday, so that you don't get worried again. On Friday, I will be here. I probably won't bring donuts this time. Sorry, but I'll be here at 7:35, maybe 7:30. So if you really want to come early, you can think, oh, I'm ditching you 20 minutes early today, so you can tack those 20 minutes onto Friday. I'll be here early. So come early if you want, but if you come at 7:50, you'll have plenty of time. This test will not take an hour. It'll take you half an hour at the most, maybe 40 minutes. And so if you show up and everyone's here working, don't panic. It's okay. Everyone else is just anxious, that's all. So that's that. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, one other thing I gotta make sure. Some of you are sport ball people or have other issues that you need to take the test elsewhere. Please come talk to me before you leave today if you're taking the test in the testing center. I know you probably emailed me earlier, but let's make sure that I get the information that I need so that we can get the test where you need it to be. One last thing. I will be in my office tomorrow, probably just playing Clash Royale or something else. If you don't come and visit me, I can do this. I can work through this with you. If you want to make sure I'm there, you can always make an appointment with me, because if it looks like this outside, I might wander out, take a bike ride by mistake instead of being in my office helping you out. So let me know if you want to come visit me tomorrow. You can make appointments or just show up. You can show up, I don't care, and we can go through this together. I'm happy to walk through this with you. All right, any final concerns? Wow, so yeah, like the faculty meeting that we get out early, I'm always happy. I hope you're happy, but come early on Friday. Stick around if you want to chat. I'm going to stop the recording now so that people can't hear me. And let me know if you're taking the test in the testing center for whatever reason.